sky is split, the wires hum, they scream, they spit, fingers trembling, heartbeats race. What have I done? What is this place? A flash, a crack, a blinding light. Something stirs in the dead of night. The spark of life, it burns, it breathes, it rises up, defying grief. The spark of life, a daring flame, born of madness, born of shame. Eyes that flicker, a heavy hand, a creature made, not born of man. It lurches forward, the table shakes, each gasp of air, the heavens quake. A moan, a cry, a jagged sound, life untamed, no bounds, no ground. The spark of life, it burns, it breathes, it rises up, defying grief. The spark of life, a daring flame, born of madness, born of
Yeah, that was quite a start. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spokane, where we join together to create a nourishing, liberal religious home and to champion justice, diversity, and environmental stewardship in our wider world, or as we like to say in short, to create community, find meaning, and work for justice. I want to welcome everyone, as always, welcome to our visitors, to those of you who are here in person, to those of you who are joining us online. It's great to have all of you. And as always, we embrace all that you come with, all of your uniqueness, your unique beliefs, lifestyle, experiences, differences, all that helps make you who you are. You two are growing up since the last time I saw you. You've gotten tall since I last saw you guys, huh? Yeah. You probably don't remember me. I remember you. You remember me? I'm honored. I'm honored. Good to see you. Is life good? Yeah? Good. Well, really good to have you today. It's good to have everybody, but I like to welcome those folks who I haven't seen for a while, especially when they're growing up so big and tall. Glad you're eating your green beans. Well, our welcoming words, I think, are especially appropriate this morning as we begin to reflect as we're going to do throughout our service, on what I believe is Unitarianism's foundation, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And we're going to do so through the lens of Mary Shelley's classic 1818 Gothic story of Frankenstein, the mad scientist whom she also called the modern Prometheus, because he steals fire from the gods to bring his unnatural creature to life. Today I have stolen a little bit of fire from the gods myself to help bring this story to life here using AI-generated music and imagery that will accompany my own reflections on this enduring tale, including the song we just heard, The Spark of Life, an interpretation of the moment that Frankenstein brings his creature to life, performed by my own AI record label, Blue Green Hum, from the album Frankenstein the Musical. And you'll be able to listen, you can listen to the whole thing on whatever music medium of your choice. It's about 90 minutes long, so we're just going to listen to a few today. But before we go further, we do have another light before us this morning. This is our unity candle, something we light when we've lost one of our members, and we light it today, sadly, in honor of church member John Bagby, who passed away last week as the result of ALS. John was, as anyone who knows him, a very kind-hearted man who touched the lives of many people over the years, those of us here in church, many people in our community, and of course the many students that he had as a public school teacher over the years. He will be greatly missed. His family and friends are in our thoughts, and his celebration of life is scheduled coming up fairly soon here at our church on May 16th, Saturday, May 16th. Exact time to be announced, so I'll be meeting with his daughter Sadie this week. This month we are also in the midst of our annual generosity campaign, during which we ask you, our members and friends, to please pledge what amount you can commit to giving for our next church year, which begins in July, not in January, so that we can then budget accordingly. Our historic church may not be quite as old as the Frankenstein novel, but it is from the same century and has remained a liberal presence and influence in our community and our world since 1887, thanks to the great generosity of our friends and our members, past and present. So before we continue, let's listen to this week's generosity moment from Mary Giannini. Oh, there you are.
Good morning, I'm Mary Giannini, and I'm a member of the pastoral care team, and I'm speaking on behalf of the pastoral care team this morning. Our pledge drive theme this year is the power of community, and today we reflect on the strength of connection, which is our expertise, the pastoral care team. Community becomes powerful when we care for each other, when we gather together to celebrate joy, comfort each other in sorrow, offer support in difficult times, and then create friendships that support us and sustain us. The program gatherings, music, pastoral care, all the things we do together in the church that nurture these connections are made possible by the generosity of the congregation. We encourage you to make your pledge by filling out the pledge form online at uuspokane.org. I just did that last week. It's really simple. Or we have a table in the back where the balloons are, where you can fill out your form. If you give your pledge automatically, like through a bank account, you do need to do a new pledge form simply because it's really important for the office to be able to track donations and to plan the budget for the upcoming year. So please consider doing your pledge and know that together we are the power of community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, and thank you for your generosity, and thanks to our pastoral care team, which has been an extraordinary presence and remains an extraordinary presence since long before I came to this church 15 years ago. So thank you all for all you do, for all the care that you give to our community, especially when they need it. As I said, today's service is different. The music is different. We're mostly giving Jackie and Riche a rest this morning, so thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. I promise we'll get back to the good stuff next week. But the format is different, and since fire and lightning are such a different or significant imagery, I should say, in the Frankenstein story, the words to our chalice lighting are also a little different today. Today we light our chalice as a symbol of all that fire and light means and symbolizes for us. The spark of life, the spark of creation, warmth, a place around the hearth, the firelight, a place to be truly seen and included by others, even when that same light casts shadows behind us, beside us, and sometimes before us. May we be mindful of our own shadow when scrutinizing those of others, and strive to make ours a place of life and light and warmth for all.
Our opening reflection this morning comes from the 1953 National Book Award-winning novel Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. I am an invisible man. No, I am not a spook like those who haunted Edgar Allan Poe, nor am I one of your Hollywood movie ectoplasms. I am a man of substance, of flesh and bone, fiber and liquids, and I might even be said to possess a mind. I am invisible, understand, simply because people refuse to see me. Like the bodiless heads you see sometimes in circus sideshows, it is as though I have been surrounded by mirrors of hard, distorting glass. When they approach me, they see only my surroundings, themselves, or figments of their own imagination. Indeed, everything and anything except me.
Thank you, Lynn. That's a beautiful interpretation of the invisible man. I think is a very human perspective, right? How we all feel invisible sometimes. Beautifully put, which I think is my hope for sharing the story of Frankenstein today. Like many, my first introduction to the story of Frankenstein was the 1931 film starring Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's creature, who is a dumb, brutish being pieced together from corpses and brought to life by a thunderstorm. But when I first read the novel in my 20s, I was surprised to find a creature that was far more intelligent than any person that I've ever heard of. A genius, an absolute genius who learned to speak and read merely by observing and listening to others while hiding unseen in the cold and shadows. Until then, I had considered Frankenstein, like many, as a parable about the dangers of unconstrained science, which was indeed leading to an unprecedented number of discoveries, technologies, and dramatic social changes when the novel was written in the early 1800s, causing a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty. Just as AI is causing today, a technology that truly is far more intelligent than any person that I've ever known, at least in many ways. But upon reading the novel, I saw no such parable. Instead, I discovered a beautiful, intelligent, loving being who longed for nothing more than to be included and to be loved by others. It's only after it is utterly rejected by its creator and its society, with no hope of ever finding a morsel of acceptance or companionship, that it becomes the vengeful monster everyone considers it to be. Frankenstein is thus a human tragedy, which is why I consider it the story of our lives. for each of us to lesser or greater degrees experiences rejection. Rejection from those we love, from those who are supposed to love us, our family, our friends, and our society. Last week, for example, I saw a group perform on America's Got Talent. Stephanie, you're going to like this story. It was made up of 5 young women. Have you seen it? It was made up of 5 young women who wanted to be ballerinas since they were children. But, as one of them explained, most professional ballet companies, they want everyone to look the same. Being an African American woman with hips, with thighs, in dance it was never really accepted. Another, her voice cracking with tears in her eyes, said that she always thought she was excluded because she wasn't good enough, not realizing it was because she didn't fit the mold. It makes me sad to think that there are so many people out there that are not still dancing because they didn't feel accepted, she said, with tears in her eyes, her voice cracking. Indeed, there are lots of people out there who are not able to live up to their full potential, to fully unfold, because they didn't feel accepted. Something surprising in Shelley's novel that's not included in the film treatments is that Frankenstein is so horrified by his creation that he flees the very moment of its awakening, not having had the slightest interaction with it. I had worked hard for nearly 2 years for the sole purpose of infusing life into an inanimate body, he says. I had desired it with an ardor that far exceeds moderation. But now that I had finished, the beauty of the dream vanished, and breathless horror and disgust filled my heart. As for the creature, it was dark when I awoke. I felt cold also, and half frightened, as it were, instinctively finding myself so desolate, it later explains, while finally confronting Frankenstein. Before I had quitted your apartment on a sensation of cold, I had covered myself with some clothes, but these were insufficient to secure me from the dews of the night. I was a poor, helpless, miserable wretch. I knew and could distinguish nothing, but feeling pain invade me on all sides, I sat down and wept. Being a student of psychology, I know that rejection and exclusion are among the most painful and dreadful of human experiences. Many of us will do almost anything to belong, even if it means hiding who we really are, what we really feel and believe, what we truly want. We hide such truths in the shadows, like Frankenstein's abandoned creature. Yet rather than becoming hopeless and vengeful, as the forlorn creature eventually does, we can respond productively, like the hiplet ballerinas, who have formed a ballet company in Chicago that focuses on inclusivity, welcoming differences, including different shapes and sizes. And by bravely taking their own different shapes, sizes, hips, and thighs onto America's largest stage to be seen by millions. Everyone here has experienced our own painful Frankenstein moments in life. Feeling rejection from others, often from those who are supposed to have loved us most. I invite you to consider your own such experience as we listen to this next song, reflecting the misery of Frankenstein's rejected creature not long after it first awakens.
Hands shaking, trembling, music
They see a monster and I see me. It's beautiful lines. We're going to kindle our candles of care now for those who are most on our hearts and minds. People who are treated by others as if they are inhuman. People of Ukraine, people of Russia suffering from war and violence there, the people of Palestine, even Israel, Iran, other places in that region of the world, people of Darfur and Sudan, and even the many immigrants in our own country who are feeling excluded and not accepted and without dignity, like their lives don't matter at this time in our history. Let's take a moment of silence on behalf of others that you might be thinking of, and as always, you're welcome to name them aloud if you like. Those named aloud and those embraced in our silence, and all those who are suffering in our world at this hour, we hold in our community with compassion. After reading Frankenstein for the first time, I found myself so astonished and filled with empathy for this brilliant, loving entity with so much potential and so much genius to offer that I wanted others to understand the story's greater meaning. So I wrote a screenplay that I hoped would be the pilot for a television series about Frankenstein. That was in 1989, when I was 25 years old. In it, the creature's frozen body has recently been discovered and is being delivered for research to a research scientist at UCLA when the truck carrying it crashes into a utility pole during a thunderstorm, electrifying everything in it, reanimating the creature to find its way anew in our modern world. Committed to making amends for its vengeful behaviors in the past, it seeks to help those it now encounters, while being pursued by another mad scientist determined to capture and dissect it to discover Frankenstein's secret for creating life from death. At the end of the episode, the creature, whom I've named Victor, is weeping over the murdered body of his only friend, Elton, a Vietnam veteran whom he first encounters living homeless in the woods. At that moment, Frank Rubinstein, very genius, right? The scientist obsessed with capturing Victor takes aim with a tranquilizer gun. But a sheriff on the scene points the gun barrel down to the ground. "What are you doing?" Rubinstein says. "I told you that thing's not human." "It's not a monster either," the sheriff says. "You've been a scientist far too long, Professor. Monsters don't cry." This is another valuable insight into Shelley's original tale. She doesn't make it clear who the real monster is, the creature or Frankenstein himself. "How can I move thee?" the creature pleads upon finally confronting his maker. "Will no entreaties cause thee to turn a favorable eye upon thy creature, who implores thy goodness and compassion? Believe me, Frankenstein, I was benevolent. My soul glowed with love and humanity. But am I not alone, miserably alone? You, my Creator, abhor me. What hope can I gather from your fellow creatures who owe me nothing?" On the night it's brought to life, the creature, stumbling about the world, unsure, unaware, and hungry, wanders into a cottage, allured by the smell of food. But I had hardly placed my foot within the door before children shrieked, and one woman fainted. The whole village was roused. Some fled, some attacked me until grievously bruised with stones and many other kinds of missile weapons. I escaped to the open country and fearfully took refuge in a low hovel, quite bare and making a wretched appearance after the places I had beheld within the village. And perhaps this is the real point of Shelley's book, that neither the creature nor Frankenstein is the monster, but any society or any one of us who intentionally demonizes and dehumanizes others, including the people of a particular identity, nationality, or ideology. That's another kind of Frankenstein moment, one we experience, not necessarily when we are being excluded or rejected, but when we are the ones treating others in such a way. So I invite you to again consider a time when you might have behaved in such a way, as we gather this morning's offering while listening to Torches, another song inspired by Frankenstein's story.
Step in time, heel and toe, keep the line row by row.
Lock your doors and bar your windows, shudder every trembling heart.
Something stalks the edge of town and we must tear it apart.
We have heard the broken stories, we have seen the twisted signs.
If it is not made like us, it is a danger by design. Raise your torches in the dark, drive the shadow from the park. If it is strange, it must be wrong. We have feared it far too long. Lift your pitchfork, shout it loud. We are righteous, we are proud. For the safety of us all, we will hunt it down. We will see it fall.
Fathers, mothers, grab your children,
Teach them what to run from.
fast.
Tell them difference means danger, and the past must be the past.
We don't need to see it clearly, we don't care what need it bleed.
All we need is one excuse to call our hatred holy mean. Raise your torches in the dark, drive the shadow from the heart. If it is strange, it must be wrong. We have feared it far too long. Lift your pitchfork, shout it loud. We are righteous, we are proud. For the safety of us all, we will hunt it down. We will see it fall.
See it fall, see it fall.
Till we see it fall.
It has eyes that are not our eyes. It has hands that are not our hands. If we let it walk among us, what becomes of all our plans?
So we march as one conviction.
So we chant away our doubts.
If we drown its pleas and shouting,
We won't have to hear it out. Raise your torches in the dark. Let them see our shining mark. It is strange and must be wrong. Beat that lesson hard and strong. Lift your pitchfork, close the ring. Crush the voice that dares to sing. For the safety of us all.
We do have a story for all ages if anybody wants to come forward for that at this time. Nobody? Are you all scared? Are you frightened yet? No, this is not scary, I don't think. Oh my goodness. There we go. Hello, Purple. It's been a long time. How are you? Scared. Oh, I see. You are scared. Well, why are you scared? Because of the service? I had a scary dream last night about a monster. Well, that was just a dream, Purple. There's nothing to be scared of. There's really no such things as monsters. How do you know? Well, because I know the story of how all monsters went away. Would you like to hear it? Is it scary? No, not at all. So here goes. Once upon a time, there lived a group of monsters who thought it was fun to scare people. See, there was Lanky Len, the long-armed monster who reached out from under beds and wiggled his fingers at anyone brave enough to leave a leg dangling. That's scary. And there was Grumble, who hid in closets, rattling the doors just enough to make people wonder what was inside. That's also scary. I'm sorry. And then there was Chuckles, the clown monster. Nothing scary about clowns. Come on. That made funny faces that were just meant to be silly, but often weren't. And there was Whisper the ghost, drifted through the basements, murmuring in the darkest corners. This is really not going so well, is it? Well, anyway, for as long as they could remember, scaring people was their favorite thing to do. They would pop out, growl, cackle, and float about, and humans would squill and hide. The monsters loved it. But after a while, it got boring. So one night they decided to take a break. Lanky Len stayed under his bed. Grumble sat quietly in the closet. Chuckles stood silently in the hallway. And Whisper moved through the basement without a sound. But every time a person walked by, they screamed just as loudly as ever. Yeah, I didn't even move, said Lanky Len. I didn't make a sound, said Grumble. I was just smiling, said Chuckles. I promise. No whispers at all, said Whisper. That night, the monsters gathered puzzled. Why are they screaming when we're not even trying, they wondered. After a pause, Whisper said, maybe they're not scared of us. Maybe humans just like to scream. The monsters thought about it, and then they all burst out laughing. All this work for nothing, said Lanky Len. Maybe it's time we stop scaring people, said Chuckles. And so they did. No more hiding under the beds, no more rattling the doors, no more spooky whispers. They left their old homes behind and discovered that they very much enjoyed living together in the open, playing games, laughing, and enjoying peace. And ever since, people have slept better than ever because there are no more monsters. Do you feel better now, Purple? No, I'm feeling a little sad. Well, why are you feeling sad? I'm going to miss those monsters. They seem nice. Very good. Thank you, Purple.
As we move now into a time of quiet reflection, I invite you to find a comfortable position, perhaps closing your eyes if you wish. Take a few slower, deeper breaths and listen to these words from Persian poet Hafiz. I wish I could show you, when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being.
For me, the most moving part of Shelley's novel occurs over several chapters as the creature hides in that hovel just outside the cottage belonging to an old blind man and his children, adult children, Felix and Agatha. And this is where the creature learns to speak and read while longing to be included within the love and the warmth of that home. It spends the long, cold winter secretly providing for their many needs and eventually decides that it will attempt to first introduce itself to the blind man, who will be less likely to judge it by its appearance. All seems to be going well, but as the creature later recounts, at that instant the cottage door was opened, Felix and Agatha entered. Who can describe the horror and consternation at beholding me? Agatha fainted. Felix darted forward and with supernatural force tore me from his father, whose knees I clung to. In a transport of fury, he dashed me to the ground and struck me violently with a stick. I could have torn him limb from limb as the lion rends the antelope, but my heart sunk within me as with bitter sickness, and I refrained. This is a major turning point in the story, utterly broken, rejected by the family it loves, its hopes of belonging, friendship, and kindness dashed forever. Frankenstein's monster finds a new purpose, exacting revenge upon its creator for making such a miserable being to begin with. It's also the part of the story that invokes such a profound empathy in me. It has remained for more than 35 years. It's why I've used AI to tell the story anew in a 90-minute soundtrack, and it's why it is the subject of today's service. It's also why I've put a little more production and effort on the song that you'll hear and see next, Even the Blind Man Turned Away.
Dripping roof, one candle shaking, rag and bone and borrowed air. I press my ear against their laughter, warm soup steam, soft rocking chair. Names they call in gentle voices, every story that they share. I mouth the words alone and echo, practicing the way I dare say. Good evening, friend.
Two simple words,
I taste them,
shared the break.
I stitch a smile that doesn't fit. Pray it holds, pray it won't shake. If I move slow, if I speak kind, will they hear a heart not seams and scars? But even the blind man turned away, and he never saw my face, only my heart. He came first, old hands outstretched, searching for a place to sit. I froze, then stepped from out the shadow, begging ghosts to make me fit. His fingers found my trembling shoulder. I know you're lonely, soft and clear. I almost knelt, my throat wide open, a single word caught here.
Good evening, friend. Two broken sounds, they tumbled out so rough.
He smiled at me like I was human, said, stay, you've suffered enough.
His palms mapped rivers down my jaw.
Traced every knot
hovel, hide my hands, hide every part. If love flinched at just my shadow, what hope is there for this made heart? I practice greetings to the darkness. Good evening, friend, to empty air until the words sound almost honest. To the only one who'll hear them then. Good evening, friend. Falls from my tongue, now it tastes of rust. How do I knock on any door when my own maker called me dust? If I stay still, if I breathe light, will I ever be more than what they see? When even the blind man turned away, there is no one left to meet me. So I curl back in this hovel, hide my hands, hide every part. If love flinched at just my shadow, what hope is there for this made heart? I practice greetings to the darkness. Good evening, friend, to empty air until the words sound almost honest. To the only one who'll hear them there.
Thank you. That song to me is the heart of the Frankenstein story. Having thought about this haunting story a great deal over the years, I've come to believe that its main character is neither Frankenstein nor his creature. I believe rather that I am the main character, as is anyone who reads the novel. Shelley's portrayal of us as the everyman, Captain Robert Walton, who, as its narrator, is the only true voice in the novel. It begins with several letters Walton has written to his beloved sister Margaret, whom he's left behind in England, probably forever, risking his life because of his own unyielding obsession, his desire to discover a passage across the North Pole. It is there that his motionless ship is locked in ice, he and his men facing almost certain death, that the story begins and ends, and where he encounters Frankenstein, nearly frozen to death, yet no less obsessed with hunting and killing the creature that has destroyed everything and everyone he loves. Shall I respect man who contemns me, the creature? Asked Frankenstein. Let him live with me in the interchange of kindness, and instead of injury, I would bestow every benefit upon him with tears of gratitude at his acceptance. But that cannot be. The human senses are insurmountable barriers to our union. Yet mine shall not be the submission to abject slavery. I will revenge my injuries. If I cannot inspire love, I will cause fear, and chiefly towards you, my arch enemy. Because my Creator do I swear inextinguishable hatred. Have a care. I will work at your destruction, nor finish until I desolate your heart, so that you curse the hour of your birth. But the entire story is told as it has been heard and written down by Captain Walton, who received it directly from Frankenstein's dying lips. At its end, after it has boarded the ship and discovered its deceased maker, Walton even bears witness to the creature's words of remorse. It is true that I am a wretch. I have murdered the lovely and the helpless. I have strangled the innocent as they slept, and grasped to death his throat who never injured me or any living being. I have devoted my Creator, the select specimen of all that is worthy of love and admiration among men, to misery. I have pursued him to that irremediable ruin. There he lies, white and cold in death. You hate me, but your abhorrence cannot equal that with which I regard myself. I look at my hands which executed the deed. I think on the heart in which the imagination of it was conceived, and long for the moment when they will meet my eyes, when I will haunt my thoughts no more. Yet in the end, having heard Frankenstein's dreadful tale, having witnessed how his own obsessions destroyed him, and having witnessed the horrifying creature's regret, it is Walton who does something neither Frankenstein nor his monster could bring themselves to do. Rather than continuing to pursue his own mad obsession, he decides, should they be fortunate enough to break free of the ice, that he will choose life instead of death by returning to England and to those he loves. And that is what happens. And I presume that is the lesson that Shelley meant to impart to all of us, that we can cease our hateful, vengeful, destructive, obsessive ways. Like Captain Walton, the novel's personified bookmark, the placeholder for ourselves, we can turn the ship around. It's not too late for us as individuals, as a society, or as a world to love one another. You can listen to the entire Frankenstein the Musical album on any streaming platform of your choice, including Spotify, which allows you to do so for free. For now, I leave you with one final song that I think reflects the true moral of this unforgettable parable. And it will be followed by our benediction and our closing song, Shalom. But if you want to stick around for just a few more minutes, the album's overture will serve as today's postlude. So, with no further ado, Todd?
Against the dark, maps and stories, ghosts and glory, all I carried in my heart. Then I heard a broken man tell of all that he had lost, every line a kind of warning, every dream a kind of cost. His voice shook like a lantern in a cabin made of snow. I reached too far, he whispered, and I watched my whole world go. So I will turn the ship around before the stars go out, before the ones who say my name are left with only doubt. The edge I always long to find is not where I am bound. What matters now is love I found. So I will turn the ship around. He spoke of hands he'd never held,
a face he feared to see again, of running from the thing he made, till he had no strength to stand. I saw my own reflection there, in his restless, haunted eyes, trading every gentle moment for a distant, frozen prize. If I keep sailing forward past the point of coming back, will I find a shining answer or an empty sheet of black? So I will turn the ship around before the stars go out, before the ones who say my name are left with only doubt. The edge I always long to find is not where I am bound. What matters now is love I found. So I will turn the ship around. What good is any glory if no one holds my hand? What use a grand adventure if I never reach the land? I thought the world was ending somewhere past this drifting flow, but endings live in choices, and I still can choose to go back home. So I will turn the ship around before the light grows thin. I'll trade 1,000 lonely miles for one warm voice within. The edge I always long to find was in the faces gathered round. Their laughter is my sacred ground. So I will turn the ship around. Lower the flags of fevered pride, raise up the simple vow. I choose the hearts that wait for me. I choose this moment now. The tale of how I almost fell will be softly, gently told, of the night I turned my ship around and found my own bright world of gold.
Thank you.
If you want to stand and get ready for our benediction and shalom. Our benediction today comes from Oscar Hammerstein. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Amen. Blessed be. Salam alaikum and shalom.